Hi, everybody. Thank you for joining us. This is the Denver Senior Resource Channel. I am Desiree, a transition coordinator with Maintain Me.
And I am Morgan Jenkins. I'm the director at Maintain Me.
Today, we want to talk about expectations in senior living. You've moved into your new community, so what comes next?
Well, that is a heavy topic, right? Okay, so oftentimes you'll come to our channel and we're talking about how to pick the perfect community, what does that look like, things to look out for. And so now we're jumping ahead. You found it. You found the perfect place. You're moving in. Now what? So the first thing that's important to getting yourself settled in a new senior community is your specific space. How do you make your space feel like home? Oftentimes there's been a big change, a home maybe you've lived in for the last 30 years. Maybe you've lived in it with a spouse or a child and you no longer have those people living with you, or maybe they've since passed on. So it's this big monumental change in your life. How do you make your home feel like a home? Desiree.
So, I always tell my clients, always bring what's going to make you feel like you're still at home. And that can be pictures. That can be anything for everybody. It can be pictures. It can be pieces of art that you've collected over the years. It can be a special chair that you sit in front of your window to sunbathe. It can be a quilt. It can be, heirlooms from your loved ones throughout the years. For everybody, it's different. So you find what those pieces are. Got to make sure they fit in their space if you're bringing large pieces of furniture. So measure your pieces of furniture, measure your new living space. But it's, really bringing what connects you to what you feel is home. And it can be anything. Another thing to, make it feel like home is if you want to mimic what your living room was decorated at home like to your new living space, do it. There's nothing wrong with that. If you want to throw everything out and start new and have a fresh start, there's nothing wrong with that. There's no right or wrong answer to how to make it feel like home. Only you will know how to make it feel like home. And, again, it can be the smallest things. It can be a favorite vase you've carried with you since college.
Oh, that's great. I think it is a lot of times the smaller things. Mm-hmm. And so, okay, we've covered your space, your apartment, your bedroom, depending upon the community. Next, let's talk about everything else. Okay, so everything that is not your space in your private space, this is like a lot of people will equate it to a cruise ship. Mm-hmm. So you are in this huge, massive ship, or maybe this is a building. Obviously, we're not on cruise ships, but maybe that'll be coming. So you're in this building, you have common areas, you have activity areas, you have a dining room. Oftentimes there's an exercise room. Mm-hmm. There may be rooms specifically for movies or presentations. It's time to get oriented with those places. They'll usually, depending upon independent living, assisted living, or memory care, there's an activity calendar. And this is something that's provided to residents each week or once a month, or you can see it in the elevator. That's a great place to look out for it. And they may have different descriptions of where the different activities are held. If you don't know what DRC means, like dining room central is going to be where all the main activities are held. Well, by goodness, then you better figure that out. So get a map out, start asking people, and get acquainted. If it comes time for an activity and you're scrambling around trying to figure out how to get there, number one, you're likely going to be in a different place than thinking about going to your new flower arranging class. You're going to be scrambling, oh my gosh, where is it? Am I going to be the last one walking in there? And that doesn't really set you up for a successful first interaction with your new neighbors. So be prepared, know the layout, know the space in your community. And don't think, oh, this isn't my space because I just have my private bedroom. Heck no. If you're moving into a community, this entire community is your space. Mm-hmm. So take advantage of it. You just moved into a mansion. What would you like to do with your brand new living room?
And the other thing is getting to know your neighbors. Most communities, whether it's independent living, assisted living, they will have what they consider a resident ambassador. And they'll make first contact with you. Utilize that person. person. They will show you the ins and out of that community. They'll show you where the DRC is or any other abbreviation for any other room. They'll let you know where it's at, and they'll show you the ropes. So utilize that person, and not just them, but get to know your actual neighbors. Go knock on doors, make those connections. Say, hey, I am Desiree and I just moved in. Can I have lunch with you today? You know, it is a cruise ship. When you're on a cruise ship, you're friends with everybody. And this is the time to be friends with everybody, because it's going to make the experience all that much better for you.
Definitely. What you put into it is what you'll get out of it. And I tell people that all the time. When you're moving into a new community, it is, what is this community going to do for me? But another way to look at it is, what am I going to do for this community? Perhaps you have background in running groups or being an educator, or you're one of those social people that would be a really good ambassador. Get to know the ropes and then see, where do I fit my gifts into this? Because that's just as important. A community is a group of individuals making a whole. And so find where your talents, because you are unique and you will have unique talents. Even if you're not very mobile, that doesn't mean that you can't participate and have an opportunity to share your gifts with the people that live in this community. Together you will all make it that much richer. I think another important thing is resident council. I had a client, her daughter called me up and said, well, my really super antisocial, grumpy mother has decided that she wants to be elected to be the chair of the president council. And she said, Morgan, my mother, who hates people, is going to be the leader of the resident council. And I said, amazing. That's so great that she's seen an opportunity where she wants to make something better, and she has her gifts and she's going to go put herself in there. She didn't need her daughter's help to do that. These are adults. You're an adult. Just go take advantage of the opportunities are there. Yeah, it takes some courage for sure. But man, will you be happy with your outcome if you put into the outcome yourself.
Exactly. And the next thing is settling in. This is when you know the lay of the land, you know what DRC means, you know what's going on, you've made some connections. Now it's time to invite guests over. That can be your neighbors from your old neighborhood, that can be family members, church friends. Invite them over, share that space with them as you would if you were still living at home, because that's the purpose of it. And like Morgan said, you're in a mansion now, so you don't have to just stay in your apartment. You have the whole place to explore and settle in and watch movies with them. Invite them to any activity that's going on. Communities love that. Communities thrive on that, and so do the other residents. So, invite guests over once you get settled in, and they might fall in love with it and then be your new next door neighbor. You never know.
Well,
it happens.
And oftentimes there are referral bonuses. If you're living in a community and you've invited someone else to come and live there too, and they move in, I mean, there's a way to put a little cash in your pocket. And if they aren't talking about a referral bonus program at your community and you invite someone, time to go ask them, because even if they don't make it a public thing, I bet they have some incentive for you. Another idea that just popped into my mind from what Desiree was saying is, hey, maybe you have a book club or red hat or a quilting club, and you've just moved into a new community and you're wondering, is that going to disrupt my club? No, now you have a space to host. Oftentimes you can ask your community for an additional fee, sometimes for free, to help cater that. So they have those private dining rooms they show you on the tour. Those aren't just for looks. Go in there and find out how to reserve them and have yourself a party with all your girlfriends in your brand new mansion.
That's exactly right. I mean, who wouldn't love that? That idea is just... It's amazing what comes along with moving into a community. Not only do you gain a community, you gain extra square footage of living space.
That someone else cleans.
That somebody else cleans, which is always a plus in my book.
Yes.
And they also clean your apartment, which is a double plus.
Plus, yeah. So get out there and start living. You've chosen a new community. These are just some really good ideas to help you establish, get connected, and feel like you are a part of your new community.
If you have any questions regarding what we talked about today, or you have your own comments that you want to add in, things that maybe we didn't touch on, let us know below. We'd be happy to share that with everybody else, because knowledge is power. The more we know, the stronger we are. So we're happy to, hear any thoughts that you may have. And if you have any topics you would like us to discuss in our next video, please, again, comment below. We'd be happy to cover anything that you have, any questions about.
Yep, hit that subscribe button, and we look forward to hearing from you. Thanks for watching our show today.
Have a great day.